You know what she was doing, and I want to say at one point,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what I had on me. I didn't had on that jury.
Okay. Are you his mother?
Yes.
Okay. You have your ID as well?
No.
I got your ID back to you.
All right, y'all, today we are dropping into a shoplifting call at a J.C. Penney, and I want you to lock in with me on this one, because retail theft gets brushed off like it is no big deal, like it is just a tag and a quick run out the door. But right now, shoplifting is surging again, and a lot of it is tied to organized retail crime. That means crews working together, people distracting employees, people carrying tools, people ready to lie fast and bounce faster. And here is the part most folks do not see. When officers roll up, they are not walking into a neat little report. They are walking into confusion. Multiple people, conflicting stories, emotions high. Everybody has a phone out, and the officer still has to sort truth from noise while keeping the scene safe and professional. So as we watch this body cam together, I am focused on the pressure points, the compliance, the hands, the tone changes, the small moments that tell you if this stays calm or goes sideways. If you want more real-time reactions like this, and you want to see what the job looks like from street level, hit subscribe and ride with me.
Hey, did you guys call?
Yep. It's gonna be 1, 2 more tomorrow.
You have your ID on you, ma'am?
I just had that other stuff you didn't hang.
Okay, so.
I just had the shirt.
And you had this fashion jewelry as well.
I had one of them.
I'm
gonna give it to you, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just giving you one.
Come on, so can you put your phone down? Says who? I asked you a question. You put your phone down.
You have your ID on you?
He don't have no ID. He claims he's a minor, which doesn't matter at this point. He will be prosecuted as well.
Yeah.
They all in cahoots, so.
Are one of you ladies his mother? Ma'am?
Huh?
Okay. Are you his mother?
Yes.
Okay. You have your ID as well?
No.
I got your ID back to you.
Jesus.
No, I need to call my boyfriend and let him know.
Well, you could do that after we handle
Okay.
what you guys got going
I'm
on.
just trying to get some money, but you don't got to beat me. I need a hotel room.
Have a seat.
Yeah, I gave it back to you.
Dude, you gonna play the camera?
No, so
No.
she had these.
All you guys are together. So it's all together. When there's like a shoplifting group, is everybody.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be tough for something I ain't even trying to get.
Yeah, but
Y'all were all together.
No.
you know what she was doing, and I want to say at one point,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what I had on me. I didn't had on that jury. Just had one ring in my hand. With my
Where did you get these
These
from?
octopus.
No. I had one ring and.
You're trying to say he took it off the shelf himself?
No, I ain't saying that.
So where did he take it from?
I don't know. He get it from off the table when I put it on the table.
Yeah, when you put it on the table.
Yeah, but I want to have the shirt. Go ahead, just go ahead. Just go ahead.
I ain't trying to get. I'm trying to go home, get my stuff.
Ain't that serious?
It is
Be
something
nasty.
I'm not being nasty.
I ain't see you.
I'm just saying, I've been
Who's
never
being
respectful to all
nasty?
y'all.
I know.
You want to be honest? I've been never respectful to all y'all. I got never
Yeah, you
attitude
did.
back.
Yeah, you did. I ain't got no to give you my name and what that was it. And that.
Yes, ma'am.
I ain't got no reason to love y'all. None at all. But like you said, I'm putting it all together. It's going to be one value.
Yeah.
I'm not splitting the difference between who.
I'm just saying that's how it works. I was just trying to explain that that's how
yes, ma'am.
these things
I was
work.
aware. I just wanted to make
Well,
sure.
no, I was letting them know so they didn't think you were, doing something
Oh,
strange by
I know
saying
you
that.
wasn't doing that.
Now, how did you guys get up here? Was it in a car, bus, or?
I drive.
Okay.
We just came here.
What car?
A white Infinity.
White Infinity. Is it a sedan or SUV? Sedan.
It was her show. I can't. No one has anything that's gonna put me, stick me, explode me, shoot me, nothing like that, right?
I would hope not. That's a no?
Was it no? Okay.
Okay. Any of you guys been banned from here before?
About 5 years ago.
Was it a permanent ban?
No, because I still could have come to the mall. I don't know. It was like five years ago.
What they banned you for?
I think Miss Shoplifting.
Shoplifting?
Yeah,
What
I've been
store?
with another girl.
What store was it?
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
wasn't JCPenney's, was it?
I'm not sure. I forget.
Okay.
It's been a little messy.
I'll take care of that. Permanent. Anyone else? Okay.
Man, the first thing that hits me is how fast this turns into a 3-person puzzle for one officer to solve. You have a kid acting ice cold on the phone, like none of this matters. And that is not just attitude, that is a tactic a lot of retail crews use. If the youngest stays detached, it muddies who did what, and it slows the investigation down. And that other woman mentioning a past ban, that is a huge flag in the real world. Retailers track repeat offenders hard now because ORC crews rotate faces and locations. A prior ban means the store has history, and the officer has to treat the whole story differently. I also clock the officer trying to nail down basics like the car and how they got there. That sounds simple, but it is how you connect people to a getaway vehicle and to other hits nearby. You can feel the pressure building, and we are still in the talking stage.
Yeah, it's Savannah High on the Signal 91.
Can't remember, not long. You said how many?
Not that many times, yeah.
About two times.
You know,
2 or 3 times.
Georgia,
I'll be with somewhere.
Georgia is 3 strikes.
It's automatic felony.
Yeah.
You have to work it out when that time comes. That's all I can do.
Was y'all boosters? Or y'all
No.
like doing it yourselves?
No, it's just that me, her, and him was just sitting out talking.
Yeah.
And let's ride to the mall. And we had supposed to even come here. We had supposed to went to the shoe show.
Yeah.
They going to jail?
Probably. I didn't get the amount yet, but they are prosecuting. Thing is that they had the 17-year-old, or I think he's 17. He's born in 08 with him.
Yeah.
So it's 2 adult females and a 17-year-old all like shoplifting together.
Oh, wow.
So they'd have brought their kid with them.
That's their kid?
Well, it's one of the ladies' kids.
Contributing to the delinquency of a minor?
So what?
Who is J.C. Penney prosecuting?
All of them.
Can you guys check her to see if she's still banned?
Yeah.
They wasn't sure like how long she was banned for, if it was a
I just
permit.
got off the phone with everyone and they probably told me.
She's banned in 2020 for 3 years.
Yeah, big training for her. So just so I know this straight. 2 of them were actually shoplifting, the other one was a lookout.
That's what I got so far. Why is she not popping up? See, I don't like this.
Party to a crime. That's why.
Because he told me, I was on the phone with him, he said 2 of them started stuffing hers while the dude was just being a lookout.
So the thing is that with the juvenile, you have to call that in to see if they're willing to take them.
No, he don't go to RYDC, he go to big boy jail.
Oh, even for the... Oh.
He's 17.
Banned in January of 2020.
Yeah, they just came back and said that she's getting, I think they said it was a 3-year ban.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah. It's,
You go to big boy jail. Like we told that person today, there's 3. You turn 17 for certain laws, you go to big boy jail. This is one of them.
Okay.
does she have a prior record?
I don't know. Well, one of them do. She said she's already been things twice for shoplifting.
Ooh.
So
yeah, when she got banned that last time in 2020, the amount was $800 and some odd.
So I wonder how much this one is. How much?
578.
Okay. Okay.
You see me watching you more than you've seen me. Caught you out the other morning, driving traffic, all in an accident and stuff. This one.
All right. Stand up. All right. All right. Put your hands together like you're praying, or whichever way is more comfortable. Okay. Have a seat. Oh, be careful.
All right.
I don't want you to fall.
I'm trying to get in.
Okay. Hold on a second.
So we are just trying to shoplift?
Yes, ma'am. Right, hands right. Ma'am, stand up.
46, that's on 45 to advise that I don't want to have a car like traffic stop.
Watch out for the seatbelt. I'm gonna get this right.
Here is where it gets real messy for the cops, because now it is not just stolen stuff, it is patterns. When an officer starts hearing about prior bans and past high-dollar grabs, that is exactly how organized retail crews get identified. These groups do not just steal for fun. They steal to resell, and they get bold when they think stores will not push charges. And the juvenile piece matters in a way most people do not think about. In a lot of places, 17 is that line where the system stops treating you like a kid and starts treating you like a grown suspect. That is a life-changing fork in the road, and you can hear the officer weighing it in real time. Then we hit the detention phase, and I feel that shift. The tone turns procedural. Hands together, seatbelt, do it clean. That is the officer locking the scene down before it spirals. Done.
You got more cups? Why do you do that? You can search.
Get a photo of him.
Hey, sir, stand up. Phone. Need your hands behind your back.
I asked you if you anything was gonna hurt me.
I'm glad you didn't use that. I did not want to tase anybody today. You're not in that much trouble, but if you cross that guard line, you're gonna be in super duper trouble. You got me? Okay. Well, spread your legs. It's gonna get uncomfortable for about 2 seconds, okay? Okay. All right, so here's the deal, man. You can't take this with you. It's gonna be thrown away.
Yeah.
Hey, Simons.
Sir.
You might want to put their purse in their vehicle because if they go out to the jail.
She has someone coming there.
Oh, okay. Can I get this stuff to your mom to put in her purse? Because it's still got thrown away. Huh?
No matter.
Okay. Well, no, it's up to you. Like, you tell me what to do. This is the only time you have to boss me around. You tell me what to do.
No matter.
It's a yes or no. Do you want me to give it to your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. All right. Here, can you give this to mom too? Because that's you need to be checked in.
So y'all not gonna see what I'm being charged with?
So, in the state of Georgia, when you point out items to people that are shoplifting, it's called party to a crime. You're considered doing the same thing. So you're going to be charged with shoplifting as well as party to a crime. Due to the amount, it is going to be a felony. So you got to see a judge. Okay? You got any? What's up? No, ask a question, please.
I'm saying what outfit did I point out to somebody? What outfit?
What do you mean what outfit?
So I pointed something out.
I didn't say that. That's what I was told, that you were pointing out stuff and they were collecting items. Once again, this is not a time to debate with me because you'll have your time in court between you and J.C. Penney's on who did what, when, and where. Right? Me, I'm just the middle guy right now. Okay? If a crime has been committed, I got to transport you to the jail so you can see the judge and everything else, man. All right? I have nothing to do with the charges because that's the primary officer over there. If you want to speak to her, you can. But from what I'm being told, is that you were pointing out items and have called party to a crime in the state of Georgia. You may not have been directly involved, but you were involved. That's what it means, pretty much, okay? Do you have any other questions with me? I know this is your first time, you're 17, so I just want to make sure you know what's going on, okay? So, all right? We're good. I'm going to close the door, turn the AC on so you get a little bit of cool air. Good? Okay, all right, sure.
Oh, I thought she had a damn handcuff in here. Oh, what the hell is this? Is this one of the magnet things to take off the?
Yeah.
She just caught a second felony. That's crazy. Yeah, go on, do that. That's another felony. No, but it was in her possession, so I get to search it. Dang, so now you just caught another felony charge for no reason.
This was.
That's why I work.
This was.
She just caught another felony. She had a tag remover thing inside her purse.
Whew. That ending right there is why I never let people downplay retail theft as no big deal. Because look at what the officer is juggling in the last few minutes. He is not just putting cuffs on somebody. He is trying to keep control of a cramped, chaotic scene while still treating a teenager like a human being. You can hear it in the way he talks. He is firm, but he is not cruel. He is drawing lines, explaining consequences, and still doing the little things that keep this from turning into a fight. That is professionalism that most people will never notice, because it is quiet. And this is the part that hits me the hardest. The kid is young enough that every decision here echoes for years, but old enough that the officers cannot just wave him off and hope he learns a lesson. This is real accountability time. The officer is giving him a straight explanation of what is happening and why not debating, not getting sucked into the circle argument. That matters. You cannot run a scene like this if you let every suspect turn it into a courtroom on the spot. The street is not the place to litigate. The street is the place to stabilize. Then you get that quick shift into officer safety mode. Hands behind the back. Stand up. Spread your legs. It is uncomfortable on purpose, and that is the point. It creates compliance, and it buys the officer time. People watching at home sometimes see that as disrespect. What I see is an officer choosing a controlled moment now, so he does not have to fight for control later. And when he says he does not want to tase anybody today, I actually respect that being verbalized. That is a cop reminding himself and everyone in earshot that force is not the goal. It is an option if the suspect makes it unavoidable. You can feel him trying to keep it at the lowest level possible while still making it crystal clear that if you cross a line, the response is going to change fast. Now let us talk about the tag remover. That is the moment where the whole vibe changes. A tag remover is not an accident item. That is not, oh, I forgot to scan something. That is a tool, and tools tell stories. Tools suggest planning. Tools suggest somebody has done this before or intended to do more than one item. From an officer perspective, that is a huge indicator that what you are dealing with is not impulsive behavior. It is capability. And that matters going forward because retail theft has been surging again lately. Stores are pushing harder. Communities are feeling it in prices and closures, and cops are stuck in the middle having to be the face of consequences for something the public loves to call petty. But petty theft adds up into real harm. It drains staffing hours, it drives up costs, and it pulls officers away from other calls that also matter. I also want to point out something people miss. The officer is doing a service not just to the store, but to the system by documenting roles and statements cleanly. When you have multiple suspects, everybody tries to blur the edges. Who pointed what out? Who carried what? Who paid? Who distracted? That is why you see the officers staying so locked in on who did what and what was in whose possession. That is how cases either hold up or fall apart later. And emotionally, it is hard to watch a parent-child dynamic get dragged into cuffs in patrol cars. Even when the charges are justified, it is still ugly. It is still a kid watching adults make choices that he is now paying for too. That is why I always come back to this. Adults set the temperature. Kids learn what is normal. If you normalize chaos and shortcuts and stealing, do not be shocked when the kid acts like none of this is serious. If you want another example of how fast a child gets treated like an accessory when adults put their wants first, I covered a case where a mom leaves her little kid alone for hours just to go chase a man. Different call, same theme. The child is the one left holding the damage. Bottom line, the officers here keep it controlled, they keep it professional, and they do the job even when it is thankless. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think tools like that tag remover should automatically trigger harsher charges? And what do you think is the best way to stop this before it gets to the back of a patrol car?